Fellow Rotarians and honored guests, Linda and I really want to welcome you to the district conference. Welcome you as all of our friends, as friends in Rotary and friends because of Rotary. The conference committee has worked tirelessly for 2 years to bring you these inspirational few days. Thank you to Helen Henderson and her planning committee for sharing in the vision and bringing it to a reality. This conference will be an opportunity to hear about the phenomenal stories of those who dared to imagine. Those who were inspired by people and circumstances in their lives and in their communities. Phenomenal stories from those who acted on their vision. Not everyone in this room who has imagined a better future will have the opportunity to be at this podium. Not everyone in the room who has acted on their vision will have the opportunity to be on the stage. Many of you have had the experience of imagining, of visioning, and of acting. This weekend is for you to share that experience with those whom you meet. Engage Rotary, change lives. As you join together to break bread, you will find a placard like this one on your table. On the one side it says, "How have I engaged Rotary?" On the other side it says, "Whose life have I changed?" These will be on the table throughout the conference, and I would encourage you to make this your icebreaker, your conversation piece. As you meet new people, learn their story. Tell your story. Inspire and be inspired. We often talk about the power of a Rotary moment. Perhaps that time, perhaps that moment, when you first believed in your power as a Rotarian to change lives. But for many of us, Rotary moments are recurring. Moments when we are re-energized, when we reach for new heights in Rotary. This weekend will be one of those Rotary moments for me. I hope it will be for you as well. For me, it's an opportunity to reflect on the last 9 months, a time in which I visited all of your clubs and many of you. A time in which I discovered for myself the uniqueness of each club. How individual members and unique communities mold clubs in their own one-of-a-kind organization. Yes, under the umbrella of Rotary, but each with its own DNA, its own personality, its own culture, its own challenges, and its own solutions. I am looking forward to joining with you to celebrate all that is good in your Rotary clubs and in this district. And I'm looking forward to sharing with our friends in Rotary, and our friends because of Rotary. Jerry and Sherry, it's great to have you here to represent the President. Bob and Ann, Brennan and Randy, George and Betty, Moira and Emmanuel, Memory, thank you for coming. This will be a better conference because each of you are here. There's another group in the room that I wish to acknowledge at this time. This year, to celebrate 100 years of Rotary in the district, we created an Unsung Heroes Award to be granted in each club. 28 clubs participated, and those winners are noted in your program. But more importantly, 7 of those winners are with us this weekend, and they will be denoted by the yellow ribbon that you'll see on their name tag. They'll be formally introduced at a later time, but I do want you to know they're here and that you can recognize them by that tag. They represent the backbone of many of our clubs. They are what make up our DNA. Now let us spend a few moments and imagine. This gentleman chaired a meeting of senior Rotarians in 1985 to seek out a worldwide project for Rotary. Cliff Docterman, who would go on to become Rotary's international president in 1992, by his own admission at the time said, "We were so naive, we were ignorant of the magnitude of such a suggestion." Who would have imagined the global impact of their decision to defeat polio? Who could have imagined the outcome? They did. In 2006, these two ladies stood on this bare plot of land in Malawi with Memory's husband in Africa. And at that time, they imagined that someday a high school dedicated to girls would stand in this location. Who could have imagined that today 360 girls are having their lives changed in this school? They did. In the mid-1990s, these two young boys, two young Iraqi boys, lived in an orphanage in the Middle East. Who could have imagined how their lives would change when they met Moira Kelly? She could. And a year ago, on June 21st, when I stood before this sign at the International Convention in Lisbon, who could have imagined how the floods that were occurring that very day would change lives forever in this district? And more importantly, who could have imagined how Rotarians and Rotary clubs on this continent would respond? Who could have imagined? As Rotarians, as human beings, as young people, our challenge is to imagine what life could be, what Rotary could be, to imagine what can be different in this world, to think big, to solve important problems, and to help resolve serious needs in our communities, communities near and far. To engage Rotary, to engage Rotarians, and to change lives. So let us just sit back for a moment and imagine.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Yeah, ooh. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to live or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine there's no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, no. A brotherhood of man. Oh yes, imagine all the people You may say I'm a dreamer. Oh, yes, but I'm not the only one. No, no. Someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Yeah.